Over to you, Dr. Prajitha.
Yeah, so thank you, Nirmati Madam, for the kind words, and very good afternoon to all. So quickly, without wasting much time, we will just directly jump to JAMOVI. I hope most or all of you might have downloaded JAMOVI and install that in your system. So yeah, so I'm just sharing my screen. Give me a second. Is my screen visible? Can someone
Yes,
please-
yes, Dr. Prajitha.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much. So I hope most of you might have downloaded JAMOVI. So if you have downloaded JAMOVI and installed that into your system, maybe you can just go and search, here, JAMOVI. And so you can see I have downloaded the version 2.3.28. I just click onto this open. Are you all there with me? Just click onto this open. And a window like this will appear. So, yeah. Did any of you have any challenge in downloading or installing JAMOVI? So, a quick demo. Yeah, so no, yeah, great. So, quick demo. So, we will just go through the JAMOVI interface and we will just, I hope you receive the data that you need to upload. I see only codebook is being shared. So maybe in between, just we'll go to the JAMOVI, and by the time maybe someone help me, producer, or just kindly share the Excel sheet also. Yeah. So once you open your JAMOVI, you can see an interface like this, which has got two windows. So here you can see your data window here, which will appear here, and there's another window here which shows your result. So data window, so I hope most of you might are familiar with SPS or some software, statistical software. So just like that, here in the data window, you can see there are several columns and there are several rows. The columns are for each of your variable. You can just see here, now for the time being, I haven't uploaded any data. So it just shows A, B, C. So just like that, each columns here shows a variable and each rows will be our observation. That is our data window. And on the right side, we have our result window. So whatever analysis that we are seeing, that we will be doing, our result will just be available besides our data window. So unlike other, maybe if you're familiar with SPSS, is just to output come as a separate separate sheet as such. So here, our data will be here, and side by side, you can just see our result. That is an advantage of JAMOVI. And then again, going to other menus provided here. So we'll start from here up the topmost. On the up, we can see several menus. There is a multiple horizontal small lines, and you're just clicking onto that. This is a file option, and you can see several options once you click onto that. That is new.
Confirming after.
Hello, here's a question like, please repeat regarding the rows and columns. Okay, the rows and columns. Okay, sorry. Okay, fine. Just so when you open your JAMOVI, I hope at least some of you are trying to do along with me. So yeah, so when you open your JAMOVI, you will see an interface like this. It's divided into two. So the left is your data window. This is this part, and the right is your result window. So the left data window, where if when you upload your data, that will appear in your data window. And in the data window, you can see a sheet just like in your Excel sheet. So here each column will be your variables. For example, if you're uploading a data with your age, gender, or age, sex, height, weight, etc., each column will be your variables. And each rows will be your observation. That each row will be each patient data, that each observations. So this will be one patient data. This will be the other patient data. So each rows will be observations and each columns will be your variables. That's what I was trying to say. Okay. Now then going to each menu here. So then again going back to this, this 3 parallel lines, just clicking onto that, that's our file menu. So when you click onto that, you can see several options like new, open, special import, save as, export. So just like that, just the word says, the new is when you click onto this new, it will give you a new JAMOVI sheet, a new JAMOVI window. That is with the new. And maybe we can just click onto that. And if you want to copy paste from the Excel sheet directly, you can just do like that, but it is not again encouraged. So open is the option for us to take new data into a JAMOVI. So there is new option which will take you to a new window of JAMOVI. And there is an open option. If you click onto your open option, you can see you can upload your data. When you click on, I just clicked my open. I'll just go again. I just clicked here, multiple 3 parallel lines. I just clicked there. There is a new option which I didn't click. Just take me to new window of JAMOVI only. So next there is an open option which I just clicked now. And when it, as soon as I clicked, it's just showing several, several sheets that I used previously. And then there is a option for here to browse. So I'm just going to click this browse option. You can see this browse downloads is here. I can just going to see a browse option is here. I'm just going to click this browse option and it is taking me to the folder where I have saved particular data. So here I can just click this MDR data, that is a data sheet of a cohort of people who got multi-drug resistant TB. So this is the data that we will be using for this whole demonstration. So I'm just going to click that particular data. And on the right side, the file name here, you can see the data files, which can just, there's a drop down, which if you click will show, multiple options. So all these, in which are, if you have done your analysis previously in SPSS, and if you have some SPSS file, you can select, SPSS file. And if you have SPSS file, you can take that. Or if you are just taking Excel sheet, or if you are done in R or Stata, whichever. So JAMOVI allows you to take any of these data files. For the time being, I'm just keeping data files open, and I've selected my MDR TB, and I'm just clicking it open here. Yeah. So now this is what I was trying to say with the two windows, data window and the result window. All my variables have come here. I will show this again how I did that. Just for give me a second. So here you can see in the data window, each variables are here and each rows are my each observations or each patient record. So what did I do? I went to his leftmost, this menu. I went to this menu icon, this 3 parallel lines as a file menu. I went there. I just clicked on this open option. Then I just clicked on this browse. So this browse will take you. So if for me, when I clicked this browse, it directly took me to the folder where I have kept my data. If you have kept your data in some other folders like downloads or some other desktop, you can just go there, and from there you can just click your folder where you have saved your data, and from that you just click on to the data that you want to take it. Just select that. And then so if you just select, it's always advisable to keep the data files as such, because if you just keep for example, I'm just keeping SPSS files as such, then I don't have SPSS files here, so none of those files will appear. So just just keep this as data file, so that all the files available in that particular folder will be available, and you can select whichever file that you want to select, and then you just click onto this open, which will bring my data into my JAMOVI. Is that clear? How to take a data into upload our data into JAMOVI? Yeah. So in the file, so I just took my second option is open. With the open, I took a file and uploaded that to my JAMOVI. And there's another option called special import, which we will discuss towards the end, why that is important. And there is another option like save, then save as, then export. These 4 I will show you towards the end. For the time being, just in the file option, just mainly concentrate on this open through which we took our data to JAMOVI. And other 4 we will discuss towards the end of the session. So that is about the file. And then there is a second option in the menu, that is a variables. So as soon as I have uploaded my data into the JAMOVI, all my data got populated into this data window. And I can see my all these variables like ID, there is registration year, there's a district code, there's age, sex, all those things. So I'm just viewing the data sheet here. When I'm clicking this variable option, just clicking that, see, I can just see the variables. What all variables are there? See, just totally how many variables are there, and then below you can see the variable number, that is 22. So totally there are 22 variables. I'm just browsing through all these variables. So, and if I want to edit any of these variables, if I want to change the name of any of this variable, or if I want to create new variables by computing or transforming or add anything, all of these options are available just under this variable menu. So it is just to see, first of all, you can see all the variables just by just like that. What all variables, you can browse the what all names that you have given to the variable. And also there are several options under these variables, this edit option, where just click onto this edit option, it will directly take you to edit your variable. That we will go once we have browsed through all the menu, we will go through that. Let's now familiarize with all these things, then we will go to each of these options. So here under the variables, we have multiple options like this. Then another second menu next to the variable is our data variable. Data. So the data option, when I'm clicking the data option, I can see again my data window is appearing, and under that again there are several options like setup is there, compute, transform, add or delete options are there. So if I just clicking onto that, I can add any data. Just like that, I can insert any data or append. Append is like adding a data towards the end of the whole variable set. Or if I want to compute new variable, I can take this insert or append, because if I'm just clicking this insert option, I can compute new variable. Or if I want to transform an existing variable into another variable, I can just use this transform options. So there are several options like that under the data variables, data option. And the third option here is the analysis. So we will explore it like how we need to analysis. When we do the analysis, we will explore each of these options under the analysis. And there is another option, that is edit. Just when you click on this edit option, you can see as soon as I click my edit option, there's some changes that you saw in the result window on the right side, right? So the edit option allows you to add certain, because if you're doing this analysis and you want to add some explanations, why if you do your analysis and you are providing the output to your mentor or your guide, and you want to explain in your result itself, okay, I did this analysis to see this particular thing, then you can just type over here whatever you want to. Just I'm just typing, it is done for something. You can type on that, and just like the limited option, just like in the Word, you can maybe bold it, or all those things can be done with the edit option. So edit option is applicable only for the result window if you want to type anything and then change it. That is an edit option. So we just went through these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 option. That is, this is a file option, and in the file option, the second, when I clicked on to that, there is an open option, and through the open, I just took my data and uploaded my Excel file into the JAMOVI. And there is a variable options which give you a view of your all variables, totally how many variables are there, and you can just edit it. And then there is a data, then there is an analysis. When you click on to that, there are several analysis options that you have. Then you have this edit option. Now, towards right side, again, you can see 2 more icon, and there is another icon for modules. So when I have just open kept analysis option over here, and there are few tests, real exploration, t-test, ANOVA, regression. There are few options available with which help us to do almost majority of the analysis that you want to do. But if in case you want to do some additional data, additional analysis, for example, if you want to do something like generalized linear model or something else like that, then JAMOVI allows you to add all those modules just by clicking onto this plus option. So I just click this plus option over here, and just like that, as soon as I clicked it, you can see JAMOVI library, then manage install. So manage install is I've already downloaded few modules into my JAMOVI. For example, JMV, scatter, so certain things, certain modules that I have downloaded. So either this option, the installed modules, under the installed modules, you can see the modules that you have downloaded and you can manage that. But if you want something else, something that you don't have, but you want to do particular analysis, just like I said, this generalized linear model, and I'm just going to click on this JAMOVI library, and it will take you to a window, and I'm just clicking. There's several options already available, so just checking whether I can get this generalized. So yeah, so in order to do this particular analysis, I need to click onto this. I need to add this module into my JAMOVI. So I'm just clicking install, and it is getting installed. And as soon as it gets installed into my JAMOVI, so it showed module install. I'm just closing it. And now after installing that, when I'm going and clicking on this plus option, we can just see this JAMLJ has been added to my installed modules, and just by clicking onto that, I can use that particular installed module for my analysis. So that is how, if you want to do, you can just try with whichever analysis options are available in the JAMOVI, and if you feel that okay, I need to do this particular type of analysis, so for that you need to add another module. So then you can just go to this plus option, and you can just browse into the JAMOVI library, where the number of analysis options are available. You can just download that, add into your JAMOVI, and then you can do that particular analysis. It's for that option, this plus icon is here. Then another two options that you see here is this particular icon with an arrow, which will help. I'm just clicking onto this. You can see my interface, the window just collapsed, and only result window is visible. So it's just to collapse our window. That is, just if you want to see just the result, you're done your analysis and you have got your result, and you're just reflecting on the results that you got. So you just want to see your results option, result output alone, just use this particular icon, so that it will just collapse, and then we can just see your result and reflect onto your result. And another, there is a three dots option over here, which if you are clicking, it will give you options like you can zoom. If you just want to increase the size of the JAMOVI, you can just zoom in and increase the size. Or if you're using all results, if you're doing something on this particular panel, understand that you will be changing the whole results. So if you want all your results with 2 decimal, you can just click on this 2 decimal. Or if you feel that you need 3 decimal point, then you can click onto that. Or for the significant figures, if you want to see just 3, then you can click onto that. So whichever, but then understand that if you're doing some changes here, it will be applicable to all of your results. And also under that, you can see the plots. So usually what you put is like a default plot, but if you want to see some other way, you can just explore all these options. And also you can change the color of the graphs that you get to some other colors if you want. So usually we keep it as gray, but if you want some other color, you can change. And if you feel in all your data that you have imported, there are certain in each of these data variable, there is a particular number that you have added, which is same for all the variable as a missing value. Then you can add that particular missing value. Here it's not available, I haven't assigned anything like that. But if you feel that for all the variables in your particular data, for all the variables you have added, for example 999 as a missing value for all, you can just add it here, so that it is easy and it will be applicable to all the data. So that's about this triple dots. So now, what we have done is we have just gone through how our JAMOVI window will appear. So JAMOVI interface, it has got 2 windows, the data window and the result window, which appears side by side. And we have gone through each of these options available in the interface. So once again, just if you have got your data, just go to your file option, which is the 3 parallel lines over on the left side, left top corner, and then click on to that. Then there is a second option, which is open. Just click on to this open option. Then that will take you to some folders, and then the right top, there is an option to browse. Just click on to this browse option. Then you can, it will either take you to the folder where you have saved your data. If not, browse your folder where you have saved it, and then select that particular folder, click open. That will help you to upload your data into your JAMOVI. So once you have your data in the JAMOVI, see, again, you can just adjust and see all the all the data over here. Just going through all the data. And then if you want to edit your variables. That's what I was saying when we saw the variables icon over here. If you want to edit your variable, one option is just keep your arrow over this particular variable and then double click on that. So then another window will appear which allows you to edit your variable. So that is one option. So what did I do now? I just kept my cursor over my first variable, the column. Whenever I save the variable, it's my columns. So the first variable, I just kept my cursor and I just double click that, which opened in a space panel for me to edit my variable. Another option to edit my variable is directly going to this variable option over here, and then I can just click on this particular variable, this ID, and I just clicked that, and then that option came over here. Or else I just told two options now. Or else there's another option is I can just go to my data. I have just clicked my data icon here, and then my data window has come, and there under that here are several options. There's a setup option also. So I'm just clicking on my setup option, which also gives me, it also provides a panel for us to edit the variable. So there are several options that you have. One is just by double clicking on your variable column, each variable, whichever variable that you want to, or else you can just go to your variable icon as such here and then select whichever variable that you want to edit, or else go to your data icon here and then click on this setup option, which will give you the data editing panel for to edit your data variable. So there are multiple options like that. So, but then make sure that whichever options that you follow, make sure that before you start your analysis, make sure that you just go through all your data variables and make sure that each of these variables are being assigned specific the intended measure type on the data type, or if there is a missing value in your data, you are adding that to this particular variable. So that is very important before you do your analysis. So I hope you all have received your code data as well as the code book. So now I'll just go through one data, several, so we saw that we have 22 variables. I won't be editing all the variables, but few variables before we start our analysis. So just the first variable is ID variable. So in the code book, you can see the variable, the description. Maybe if you need, you can just copy the variable label, and you can just, there's an option here for description. You can see there's a description written over here. So if you want to provide, if you are transferring this data to someone and then they might not be knowing why you put this particular code ID, so what is that? So instead of that, just better to provide the description. So I'm just copy paste the description of this variable from the code book, unique laboratory identifier, and I'm seeing the measure type. So JAMOVI automatically has assigned it as ID, but I just want to see what all options are available for my measure type. So I'm just clicking on to my this drop down here. When I click the drop down, I can see there is nominal, there is ordinal, continuous, ID. So only these four options are available for me to add. So here in the previous session, we learned like what is a nominal variable and what is an ordinal, continuous, and all those things. So this being just an ID, I'm just keeping it as ID itself. And the data type is just text because it's a mixture. You can see here's a mixture of numbers and text and all. But anyway, I won't be using this particular variable for any analysis. So I'm just keeping it as text itself, and there is no missing value. So I'm just, not adding anything over this missing value. So now I have finished verifying this particular variable. So I need to go to my next variable. For that, I can just click onto this arrow on the right side here. As soon as I'm touching this arrow, it's showing next variable. So I can just go to by clicking that particular arrow, I can just go to my next variable. So that to navigate from one variable to the next variable, you can either click on to the side arrows, which is provided over here, or as another way, once you become expert in the JAMOVI, if you feel, okay, I need to edit this particular variable, I need to add some missing values, and you are like, okay, I did that, then you can just close it by using this upward pointed arrow. So once you are open this editing panel, you can see one arrow here is an upward pointed arrow, and another arrow on the right side, which help us to navigate from one variable to next variable. So this arrow, this particular arrow with upward pointed, just help us to close this particular window. So I just clicked on to that upward pointed arrow, and then it closed the editing panel. So if I want to go to the next variable, then just double click onto the next variable, which will show the editing panel. So this particular upward pointing arrow is to close this editing panel, right? And then this, now this is a second variable. So I can navigate to my first variable just by clicking the left arrow, or I can navigate to the right variable by clicking onto my right arrow. So just like that, I can navigate like this. So let's see a few more variables and just provide descriptions and see the measure types and data type provided. So this is also nominal, and it is provided as integer. It is years over here. There's no missing value. Now let's go to district code. Again, it is provided as nominal, and the data type is text. There's no missing value, and we can see that several district codes provided. So this particular data is about a cohort of drug-resistant TB patients that we have from Kerala, which two people like Dr. Karthikeyan and Senthil Kumar provided us for conducting JAMOVI sessions. So this all these are the district codes of different districts of Kerala. So we are keeping it as data type as text itself. And now going to the age variable. So here you can see, and this shows the importance why we need to check all the variables, the measure type. Here you can see our age is the variable type, and then in the measure type, the JAMOVI has assigned it as nominal. So do you think our age variable is nominal, or is it some other type of, is some other measure type? Can anyone tell me which measure type is our age? Can someone tell me age is, yeah, I see a question in the chat. Yeah. How to know which module to add for which analysis? Okay. So that is like, if you can, you just, when you do your analysis using JAMOVI, once you explore all these analysis options, and if you feel, okay, I'm not able to do this particular, you can just click this module. And what I did here is I just went and searched for generalized linear model. So, and you can also, there is a JAMOVI manual also, which you can just see, and which all modules you need to, get to do particular analysis. That is just by, doing and learning, understanding and all. Just like when you do your Excel sheet, certain times you won't be able to do certain functions in your Excel, and you need to put some add-ons into your Excel. Just like that, in JAMOVI also, you need to just, sometimes you need to get the help of your seniors or senior statisticians to know exactly which module that you need to do. It's just by trial and error. There is nothing like this particular, or you can use a JAMOVI manual to understand that and all. Yeah. So anyone regarding this particular age, Yapringa Kurni is continuous, there's an ordinal continuous. Okay. How? Okay. There's several options provided. So someone has said it's ordinal, age is ordinal. So why do you think age is an ordinal variable? Majority has said it's continuous. Great. Okay. So what options that we have in our JAMOVI is nominal, ordinal, continuous, and ID. So for the age, when we see, so in the previous session, we learned there are basically two types of variables. There's a quantitative and a qualitative. And under the qualitative, we have our nominal and ordinal. And for the quantitative, it is continuous and discrete. Isn't that so? So our age will be a continuous variable. Here we have what options that we have is continuous. So I'm just clicking on this continuous variable, and the data type is, I'm just putting it as integer. I have collected it as years. So I'm just putting it as integer, and there is no missing value. And one thing you can understand here, as soon as I changed my age measure type, it was previously nominal, and now it changed. As soon as I changed here, the continuous, here the levels disappeared. So here, so that's what, if it is a nominal thing, that is, it is a qualitative thing, if it is a different options, that is a nominal as well as ordinal options are there. And then in that case, each level is like each category, right? So here, as soon as I changed my nominal, measure type nominal to a continuous thing, these levels got disappeared. Now let's see a nominal variable here. See, for sex, here it's a nominal variable and this is an integer, and there are two levels, 1 and 2. And in the code book, if you see in the code book, it's coded, the gender, the sex is coded as 1 as female and 2 as male. So we need to label it. So why we need to label it? It's always better if you label your particular coding, because if you assign 1 as female and 2 as male, and then you do your analysis, and in the output you will get it clearly, okay, 1, then you don't have to go back and forth to check, okay, which is 1, which is 2. So it's always a good habit, before you do start your analysis, just make sure that just see to all your measure types of each of your variable, and if it is a nominal variable or an ordinal variable, you need to label it properly, which are codes that you have used. So just to change the labels here, this is 1. So I'm just kept my cursor next to the 1. I'm just changing it to female. And as soon as I move to the 2, you can see the female, the 1 got replaced with the female, but the 1, the coding, the integer that is here, it's still there, which will be used by the JAMOVI for analyzing. But when you get your result, this label will appear in your results. So that is a beauty of JAMOVI. It just makes, so just by going back to your variable and just seeing, that will help us to see, okay, female is 1. And then for the male, I'm just coding 2 as male. So here also I can just see 2 is male. So that is done. And also another thing, if you want to do any changes, if you want to change the order, in the sense like when you analyze something and if you want to change it, these arrows will help you to change the order, which we will see later stage, why we want to, when we want to do and all. For the time being, just understand that these arrows over here will help us to change the order. But then just to change it, to provide a label, you just need to click to that 1 number, just go put backspace, and then instead of 1, give female, and then in the 2, instead of 2, just give you the provide it as male. So that's it. So once you have provided that, so everything is done, it's here, and there's no missing value in the sex also. Now we will go to the next variable, that is the examinees, the economic status. Yeah, sorry. So EC. So we will go to another variable, which I just want to show one particular thing, that is basically the alcohol during use during treatment. So I think it is the next variable here. Yeah. So here ALCTRT, that is just providing the label, that is alcohol used during the treatment. So here also you can see there's a nominal variable, and it is a the data type is also correct, integer. So there are 3 categories over here. There's 1, there is 2, and 9. And when you carefully check your code book, you can see 1 is yes, 2 is no, and 9 is not recorded. So I'm just changing 1 to yes, 2 to no, and 9 is not recorded. Yeah, so I have done that. So I just browse and just seeing my data on the alcohol used during treatment, and I'm just seeing, okay, there are a few not recorded, which I really don't want to add my not recorded. So you can see there is an option for missing values here. I'm just clicking on to the missing value. As soon as you click onto this missing value, another panel opened up. You can just see that I'm just showing you that again. So I just changed my labels and I saw I put 9 as non-recorded, but I want to put my 9 as a missing value so that it won't be considered during my analysis. So in order to put 9 as my missing value, I'm just going to click onto this option, this box next to the missing value. And as soon as I clicked onto that, another panel appeared which shows add missing value with a plus icon. So I just clicked onto this add missing value with the plus icon, and then I can it shows the formula which reads. So here the source means or computing or something. Whenever you, so here the source value is our alcohol during treatment. So that is our source value. In this particular source variable, I need to put 9 as my missing value. So either you can, in this particular space, you can see a small drop down on the top. Just by clicking onto that, several options appears. And each options means, each symbols means has different meaning. So here in the JAMOVI, equal to. So it just means equal to. But for that, you need to put equal to sign twice. So either you can enter equal to twice, or else you can just click on to this drop down and select equal to from that particular drop down. So whichever is fine. So I just selected for the equal to from the drop down. And then next I need to add 9 into my missing value in the space provided to add the number. So then I just put the, let me see one thing. So I put the equal to and just adding the 9 number over here. And I'm just closing this particular window by selecting this arrow, downward arrow. I'm just closing it. So as soon as I have put the close that particular window, this 9 missing value has come in this particular box. And when I browse down to see my this particular variable, see all those not recorded has come out bit shade, in a gray shade. Earlier it was provided, it was used, it was shown a different way. Now it is bit dim. You can see that. So then another variable, let me show once again the how to add missing value with another variable, which is height. Yeah. So the height, if you see your code book, you just scroll down your code book and you can see the height is added in centimeter. And then there is in the remarks, it's written 999 stands for missing height. So I just want to add that alone. So otherwise, and here also in the height also, just see, just be mindful of that. Here the measure type is again written as nominal. So you need to change that to continuous. Then also I need to add my missing value, which I'm doing just by clicking onto this box. And then a panel appears here. And then in that panel, click on to this add missing value with the plus icon. Again, what I'm seeing is when source, here the source variable is our height. And then there is this downward arrow. Just click on to that. Then select the equal to and then type 999. So just by typing that and then close this particular window just by clicking on to this downward arrow. And then the missing, here in the missing, it's 999. And when you are seeing this browsing your particular variable, you can see the 99 got nullified here. So what all things we discussed now? We saw how we can navigate from one variable to another variable, how we can edit our variable starting from ID, how we can add the descriptions, the measure types, what all measure types are available for us to select, and what all data types are available for us to select. So when you put this data type as a text, it won't be used for only for those variables which you won't use for analysis. Put it as text data type. Otherwise, put it as integer. Or else if you have a decimal value, for example, usually for the qualitative variables, you will put it as integer, right? Only for the continuous, if you happen to have a decimal value for a weight or you collect it in that way, you can put it as text value. Decimal value. So for here in the ID, I'm just putting it as text itself. I'm just going to check like each of this variable, just the measure type, not coding anything. So here it is correct. It is nominal and it's integer. It's fine. And the district code, it's nominal text. Okay, that is fine. And then the age, it is continuous, right? It's integer. So if you are collected it as a discrete value and then you want to make it a decimal, then you can choose for decimal. But always better to go for integer and keep it like that way. And the sex, it's nominal and it's a kept as integer. I have coded female and male. So how to code it? Once again, just click on to the, if you have not coded yet, just click on to that levels. 1, 2 will be there. Just click on to that. That will get automatically selected. Click backspace. And instead of 1, just give female. And then same way, the level 2, just click on to that particular space. It automatically gets selected. Just put backspace and instead of 2, just put male. So automatically it will get labeled. So that is how we can add the labels for each of the levels. So here the economic status, here also if you want to add the below poverty line and above poverty line, if you want to add 1 as below poverty line, just click on to that, it will get selected and then you can add below poverty, and then 2 as above poverty. You can just add that. So it's always better if I'm not considering the time that we have, I'm not adding all the levels here, but I would suggest all of you to try once to add all the levels here. So and also if possible, provide all the descriptions and just check all the measure type, data type, and also the levels. And only in the whole data set, I think for alcohol treatment and HT, we have the missing values. So that I showed. So how to add that? Once again, in the missing value, just click on to this missing value. Then that will, another panel will appear. Into that, just here there will be, you can just select a drop down and then can select the equal to sign, or you can manually put the equal to sign, and whichever number that you are assigned for missing, you just type that over there. So that is for missing value. And here it is again, smoking during treatment is nominal, it's correct. Here also it's 9 is not recorded. So if you just label it as not recorded and try to add it as a missing value. So for each of this variable, it's better to label all the levels, and also wherever there is a missing value which you don't want to include in your analysis, just go for adding that as a missing value. So just checking all the variables here. See here, this particular variable is provided as ID, which is date of treatment of outcomes, is a date variable. So the date variable, we do not have the option as a date to analyze date variable in the downloaded version of JAMOVI. So let it be that ID itself. Again, it's a date variable. So again, you can see the weight diagnosis. Here it is provided as nominal. So we need to change it to continuous. So this is very important. I'm just showing all these variable because JAMOVI automatically assign the measure type. So it's important for us to cross check it and make sure that it is in the measure type that we want. Otherwise, we will have trouble while doing the analysis. Yeah. So that's about the variable type. So now, so are you all with me? Any doubts or any challenges so far? So mainly what all things we were discussing is just familiarizing ourselves with the JAMOVI, just the interface, and then each of the options available in the JAMOVI and how we can upload or take our data into the JAMOVI, and then how we can just check all the variables available in the JAMOVI, and then if the JAMOVI has assigned the measure type wrongly, we're just editing it, and then we assign label to our different levels, the categorical variables, and also we learned how to put missing values for our variables. Any doubt till this? Because this is very important. Before you start your analysis, we need to make sure that we are all are familiar with these things. Any doubts? Are you all there with me? If any are doubt, if there's no doubts, then just put in the chat box. At least there's no doubts. Yeah.
Participants, only when you respond, we can move on to the next section. So can we move on to the next section? Thank you, Susan. Okay, no doubts. Okay, thank you so much. Dr. Prajitha, I think you can continue.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Right. So far, good. So now what we will go is, we'll just see how we can, so we learned about summary statistics, right? So we need to just try to do certain few summary statistics, maybe for you just to provide your reports or something, how we can go about that. So I showed you several options in the menu. There's a variable, data, and the third, our favorite option, is analysis. I'm just clicking on to my analysis option. So here there are certain options again: explore, t-text, ANOVA, regression, frequency, factor, several options are there. So I will just click on to this exploration. And when exploration, again I can operator chart. So I'm just clicking on to this descriptive. So once again I will go again. So I just click this analysis. I went into this exploration charts. I'm just clicking onto this several options, but no, I'm just going straight to exploration, and then under that, as soon as I click onto my descriptive, I can see my window, the result window is also has changed. I mean, has changed. So this is my previous thing. I will show you how to delete and all. Yeah. But then for the time being, just concentrate over here. So as soon as I clicked on to the descriptive, in the window, in the result window also, and the table, automatically the table has come. And then I'm just going to add few variables. Let's first add some quantitative variables like our continuous age. I'm just adding. So as soon as I'm adding, you can see automatically this particular table on my result window is getting populated. See, it's very beautiful to see automatically. You can just add, and then here I'm just clicking on to the height variable. Okay, it's getting automatically populated. So what did I do now? I just went to this analysis, exploration, descriptive. As soon as I clicked on the descriptive, a panel like this opened, which showed one box with all my variables available. All my 22 variables available in this particular data is there, visible here. And then there is another 2 boxes here, which is variables and then split by options. And there are certain options like frequency table and all those things. But for the time being, whichever variable that you want to analyze, just select that particular variable. Just click onto that particular variable just by clicking. Just click that particular variable. Just use this particular arrow to drag it to this particular box as a variable box. Then automatically this table in my result window is getting populated. So how did it happen? Or I just click this particular thing and this result window is getting populated. A table has come and all this data, the summary stats is getting populated. So the thing here is beneath this, in this particular panel of descriptive, there is options here again, statistics and plots. I'm just going to click the statistics option. So you can see when you just scroll down, by default, under the statistics panel here, these options are ticked. These options are selected. So it's by default, just like that. So unless you untick it, these as soon as you click your descriptive, this table will come and you will get all this, as soon as you put your variables, you will get your summary status. This by default, it is being selected. So if you want anything extra, so what all things we have, this is total number is there, any missing variable. So if you can see in the height, we added 999 as not recorded. So all those things has come as missing variable. There is a mean, median, standard deviation, minimum, maximum. So what else do we need? Is there anything that anything else other than that that is being provided? We need it for the summary statistics. Anything else? So we have the mean here. For the mean, we have the standard deviation. Something is missing for the median. What is missing for a median? Anyone? In the chat box. IQR, yes. So interquartile range is not there. So that is not, by default, it is not getting selected. So for that, we need to select it. So as soon as I have clicked it, you can see just as soon as I have put the tick, selected that IQR, it has also come over here. So I'm just closing this particular window. So just to close this window, always use these arrows. You can see this particular arrow that I'm just keeping my cursor over there. So I'm just clicking that arrow again. That window went, and then I'm just adjusting my result window and data window. So now what all results I have is there is this N missing, mean, median, standard deviation, interquartile range, minimum, maximum. So I got for these quantity variables, my summary statistics are here. And if I want to add any more, if I have, okay, I forgot, there is one more continuous variable which I didn't see. Okay, I want to add it. Just click on to this particular table and the all analysis that we did here, it's just like that, it will come here. And if I can just see, okay, there's a weight at the end of treatment also, which I missed. So I just go in there and then selecting that particular variable and just, I can either use this particular arrow to drag it to this selection variable, or else I can just drag this variable. Did you see that? I am just dragging this variable to this selection variables. And as soon as I added that particular variable into this selected variables, my table on my result window got populated automatically. So this is how we need to do our summary statistics for quantitative variable. Now let's see for categorical variable how we will do. So the same way, we just go to analysis, exploration, descriptive, and then what I will see is for sex, I will just select. So what did I see? So here, just by selecting the sex and by using this arrow, I can drop into my this variable window, variable box, or else I can just drag it and put it into this variable box. And as soon as I'm putting, you can see this particular box on my result window is getting populated. So, but then sex is not a continuous variable. It is a categorical variable. So what we need is not a summary statistics for the quantitative. So here is a problem. So the JAMOVI or any statistical software, whatever values you give, it will just give you some output. But then we need to know what we need. So what I'm going to do is, I will just unticking all this under the statistics, all these selections and just unticking it, because I don't need all these things for my categorical variable. What I need is frequency table. I need the proportions. So what I will do is here, the same under the descriptive, there as soon as I put my variable into the selection box here, there is an option here which shows frequency table. And then I'm just clicking onto this frequency table, and automatically in my result window, you can see the frequency table has appeared. So by default, all these options are there. So if you are planning for some categorical variable, if you want to see the frequency, the summary status for a categorical variable, make sure that you are unticking all these options, and then you click onto your frequency table, and then you get your frequency, the percentages you will get it. So is it clear? We just used just one option over here in the analysis. Under the exploration, we just went for descriptive. Just by using our descriptive, we could get the summary statistics both for our quantitative as well as the qualitative variable. So here, just as soon as I click the exploration descriptive part, you can see it's coming the statistics. Under the statistics, all these are by default selected. And then the descriptive, the table also is ready. Only thing is we need to put our variable into the selection window. Is it clear? The very simple, just easy to understand. So that is the beauty of JAMOVI. It's very easy. Just by a few options, you can get your summary statistics. Just need to know how to take your data into your JAMOVI, and then just make sure that all your variables are being labeled properly, all measure types are correct, and then just go and use your under the analysis, exploration, descriptive, you will get your necessary summary statistics based on the type of variable. Another, just quickly I will show, and one more thing, just as we have seen here, we have two variables here. One is your height, one is your weight at diagnosis, and one is your weight at the end of treatment. So instead of taking a summary statistics of the height as well as the weight, is there any better measure that we can use to understand? Anyone? Do you want to try some other? Okay, BMI, very good, excellent. Yeah. So sometimes whenever we see, we get the height and weight, we always want to measure the BMI of our patients, just to see the nutrition status, where the person is malnourished or not. So how we will do that? So we just have two variables, that is our height and weight. So there comes under the variable, there are several options I showed you already. There is compute, transform, add or edit option is there. So what we need to do? We need to compute BMI using height and weight. There are several ways to just start that. I'm just saying how to start it. So one is just under the variable, you can just click on to this compute option. And then again, a panel will allow us to compute a particular variable, or else you can just go to our data. Under that also there is an option, compute. So again the same panel appears. Another option is just go to the end of my data. This is my last variable. Just select that, keep your cursor and select that particular, select the last variable, and then you can click here, add is here, and then there are options like computed variable, insert, append. So I'm just inserting this particular variable, and then you can see this particular new variable has come on the left side. So why I am showing this is, sometimes you might be having your weight or height or certain variables, and you want to compute your variable next to that. In that case, just plan ahead and keep a cursor wherever you want to. So if you want this particular cursor in between, just to cross check in between, just like that, in that way, then in that case you just keep your cursor here and then add, and then when you use this insert option, it will come just left to the variable that you have selected. But instead of that, if you are you are selecting this append option, then append is towards the end. So when you select append, it will come towards the end. So as you can see here, in each of my selections, a new variable is being created in my data. New variable has been created here in different ways, but all are like computed variables, and each is getting selected. So several options to do that in whichever way that you want to do. So easiest way is either just go to the data, just click onto this compute, you can compute new variable. Or if you want the new data that you are going to compute to come in between somewhere, just for you to compare, just click the variable next to the column, in the next column where you want to add it, then click on to this insert option. So the new variable will come just left to the selected variable. So that is an option. Or otherwise, with only in this case, it will come in between. If you are using some other options directly like computing, it will come towards the end of your data. So now, just by showing this example, so many variables got added. So I just want to delete it. What I need to do, just select this particular column and I will just click delete. So it will show me delete. I'm not sure you want to delete it or not. I just click OK. So that went. So you can delete your variables in that way. So that is the purpose of this delete option. So I'm deleting everything just added. And the usual easiest way, what I'm going to do is, I will go to the data. I'm just going to click compute. So as soon as I click the compute, new variable has been added at the end of my data. Just double clicking that. And then there's a new variable that is BMI. So what I'm going to do is BMI. So when you saw the data for the summary studies, there are two variables, weight at the end and the weight at the time of diagnosis. So what I will calculate is weight, BMI at the BMI diagnosis I will calculate. Okay. So I'm just adding the description, and here also BMI, I will add BMI diag so that I won't have any confusion at the end. So how we will compute this new variable? So we all know the formula for BMI is weight in kilogram by height in meter square. But what we have in our data, is the height is in centimeter. So what we need to do that for that? We need to divide our height by 100, and then we need to square it, and then we need to divide the weight in kilogram by height in meter square to calculate our BMI, right? So how we will do it? So as soon as in this panel, so you have created, there's a new computed, under the computed variable, there is a BMI diag, the BMI diagnosis, I gave the description, and there is this formula option, and I am just, next to that, there is this function fx. I'm just clicking on to that. So as soon as I clicked here, you can see that another window popped up which shows functions and variables. And my cursor is here and next to the equal to sign. And so which variable I want to select first? It is the weighted diagnosis. But because what I'm going to calculate is BMI diagnosis. So weighted diagnosis, I'm just double clicking that and it came over here, divided by, I'm just clicking divided, that is a slash arrow, and then by height. Where is my height variable? Height variable is here. So I'm double clicking my height variable, and the height variable has to be again divided by 100, and that need to be, so many things are there, right? Isn't that so? So we just saw just 2 minutes back when I gave sex as a just like putting sex into the my variable panel. The JAMOVI gave me the summary statistics. So if I give like this, will you think, do you think that JAMOVI will be able to understand it? No. So I need to make my formula very clear for JAMOVI to understand. So what I will do first is, this height is in centimeter in my particular data. So I want to make it as meter. So for that, what I'm going to do is height by 100. I will put this in a bracket so that will be secure. Now what I need to do? I need a square of this particular height in meter. So for that, we will use this upward arrow. I think for you just need to click the shift and 6 for that, so that the square will come. And then you need to put 2, that is a squaring. So this will give you height by 100 and then squaring that particular value. For JAMOVI to understand that, I am putting the whole thing in again another bracket, so that my JAMOVI will understand it's weight at that time of diagnosis whole divided by height in meter square. Is it clear? Any doubt? Anyone? So when you compute a formula, make sure, don't think that, okay, it will understand, it will give me. No. You need to make it very clear. You should think that, okay, it won't understand and I need to be very specific in my commands so that it will give me what I want. Okay. So here my formula is done. And as soon as I just click that and kept my cursor out of that, automatically, here you can see my BMI diagnosis has been calculated. You can see here. Is that okay? And if you want to reduce the decimal, then just go here and reduce the decimal to 2. Yeah. So this is a way how you compute a new variable. So I will show that again. So how did I do that? So BMI diagnosis. Then if you want, you can provide the description. Then again, beneath that, there is a function fx. Click on to that. Then another window will come. Select your variables from this, whichever variable that you want. Double click onto that, which will appear. And make sure that you are providing your formula in a very specific way so that JAMOVI will be able to understand it. Okay. So now I have this BMI diagnosis. So is there any other way that I want? If I just get, with this particular value, what I can do? I can just, it's a continuous variable. So is there anything else that you want to use it? Is there any other way that you want to change it? Anyone, please? Yeah, how to reduce the decimal point? Yeah, that's actually here when you are selecting this particular. It's not changing now when I'm changing this result part here. I don't know why. I will just see to that later and let you know. The timing that will be here. Actually, when you are changing the result part, when you are changing it here, it will get automatically changed. That'll be there. But yeah, let's go. Just one more thing for me to show. Like from the BMI, do you want to change it into another type? Is there another way that you, so with this particular variable, what you can do? We can just go analyze, explore in the descriptive. What you will do is we will just take this particular BMI diagnosis and it will just give the mean, median, this thing. But is there any other better way for us to do it? Quickly, someone. Yeah, BMI categories, excellent. So how we will do that? So again, we'll go to our data. Here we saw next to the compute, there is another option that is transform. So I'm just clicking onto the transform. And as soon as I'm clicking the transform, again, another panel came over here, which shows BMI diag 2, because we already have this particular variable BMI diag here. For the second variable, as soon as I get the transform variable, another new variable has been created in the data. And then the same, all these values, all these observations have been copied to that particular particular variable, under that particular variable. But what we need to do is we need to change it into categories for that, so that it is easy for us to categorize and we find the frequencies. So what I will do is I'll change the variable name BMI diag cat. That is BMI diagnosis, BMI at the time of diagnosis categorized. And how I will do it? So here again, previously I told you, whenever we see the source, it means the source variable. So here, what is our source variable? Our source variable is from BMI at the time of diagnosis only. From that particular source variable, from that particular variable only, we are trying to transform or change into a new variable. Okay, then how we will do that? So there's an option under, there is using transform. There's an option here, using transform. And then I'm just clicking, it's next to that, it's shown none. I'm just clicking the drop down over there. You can see create new transform. So there is no transform that I have created in this particular data. So I'm just clicking on this create new transform. I just clicked onto that. And again, another panel opened. So what did I do? I just went to my data. And here I just clicked onto the transform. As soon as I clicked onto the transform, another new variable came, just like BMI diag, and I changed the variable name BMI diag cat, and I just made sure that my source variable is a variable that I want, which is BMI diag only. If you want to change, if you are creating some other, if you want to transform some other variable, you just need to click on this drop down and select that particular variable from this options. But here, what I want is my BMI diagnosis only. So just select that itself. And under that, then beneath that, there is a using transform. I just clicked on to, it was none before. I just clicked on to the drop down and clicked on to create new transform, because I clicked and I selected this one. It has come, it's coming now as transform 1. So I'm just going back to my transform 1 because I didn't add any options over there. So I'm just want to edit this particular transform. So there's this transform option. And here also you can see is equal to source, something else provided. So what I want to do is I want to provide a recode condition. Just going to provide a add recode condition. So you can see I just clicked the add recode condition. Initially there was if source. So I just clicked on to again the add recode. So now I have two options. So now I'm thinking how I want to categorize my BMI diagnosis. So how you want to categorize it? Is it like 2 categories, or is it like 3 categories, or is it like 4 categories? Whichever, how many categories that you want to divide your BMI? Usually what we do is we will divide it into 3 categories, right? We divide into 3 categories, like undernourished, then normal, then overnourished. Like we'll categorize it into 3. So how we will do that? So here again, so I'm just planning ahead, and I'm just adding one more recode condition. So now I have 3 recode conditions, and that is what I want. I want to categorize my BMI into 3. I'm just planning ahead, and I'm doing it. So in the first, what I want is, I just want to categorize all those BMI less than 18 into one category. Is that okay? Or 18.5 you want to? Yeah. So less than, I just click this drop down, and then several options came. I just click the less than option, and then I'm just clicking 18.5. 5. That's because I clicked twice just to show you it came as like that. Don't worry. So it is less than 18.5. It's coming as, I'm just coding all those less than 18.5 into one category, and I want to label it. So how I will label it? For that to label it, always make sure that whenever you are labeling here for a transformed variable, make sure that you are giving that in an inverted comma. So for the less than 18.5, what I'm going to do is, I'm just giving the name as undernourished. I'm just giving it undernourished. So I gave that option. And as soon as I gave that option, you can see all those less than 8.5 here in your data window, all those data which is less than 18.5 got automatically converted to undernourished. Now I need to go for the second. So now you should understand here very clearly, in the SPSS or some other set or whichever software that you use, you need to provide a range for the next one. So because once you give less than 18.5, then we will give 18.5 to 24 or whatever, 22.99 we will give. But here, as soon as I have provided my first option, all those data got coded and it won't change. So you don't have to provide a range again. Instead, you need to assign the next set. So that is again just less than, and then 24.99, I'm just giving. And then for that, again, in the inverted comma, normal BMI. I gave that particular name. And I'm just clicking here. Hello? Hello, is anyone trying to speak or hello? Hello?
Yes, doctor, we will mute it. I think somebody is speaking. We'll try to mute them. Okay, you please continue.
Yeah, thank you. So as soon as I have put this less than 24.99, what you need to see here is all those that I called initially, that is undernourished, that didn't change. But the second coding, the normal BMA has come over here. So that is my second category. And else what you will give? So all those we have called two categories is undernourished or normal BMI, and the second category will be, one thing you can do is, again, you can just give, but you don't know what is if you don't know like what is the highest BMI, you don't want to go and see all those things. Directly here itself, you can put your double quote, and then inside that, you can just write overweight or whichever what you want to give. So I'm just directly, else use overweight. I'm just giving it that, and then taking my cursor out. So automatically you can see in the data here, everything is coded. So just going to see just closing these things. And here I see one thing is missing. So I'm just going to see why it is missing. So that you can see it is because the height that you have called as missing value has not been taken into analysis for BMI. And that because of that, here in the BMI categories also, it is not coming. But other than that, all my data got coded and I have categorized my the values into three categories. Now let's just go and see the final thing. The exploration, going to analysis, exploration, descriptive. Then just taking my new variable that I calculated, the BMI diagnosis cat into my variable, just clicking onto the frequency and unticking all those things that that is automatically assigned, so that I don't want all these things. And then we got our frequency table like undernourished, normal weight, and overweight. So this is how we need to transform. So what did we learn? We learned how to compute new variable and also how to transform an existing variable. So whenever you need to transform an existing variable, so if the people who are using SPSS, it is like recoding and all, but here the option is transform. So in the transform option, you just give the name. This is not the name that you want to give, you just edit the name. then make sure that your source variable is a variable that you want to. If you want some other variable, then select that particular variable. Then in the option using transform, just select. So here, this particular transform option is for BMI, categorization. So if you want to categorize the BMI at the end of, so if you have calculated the BMI at the end of treatment, and then if you want to transform that particular variable into category, just like 3 categories that we can use, you can just select that particular. If after computing this BMI at the end of treatment, you can select that particular variable here as your source variable. And under the using transform, you can use this same transform equation, that option that we have created. And then just by clicking that, you will get the BMI at the time of at the end of treatment too. So once is by creating a transform equation or the option, you can reuse it for the same type of variables also. But only thing is, make sure when you're doing it, be careful, be mindful. Here, there will be a drop down. It's always better to click onto this drop down and use it. Otherwise, if you type, sometimes you might create some error. So go for the drop down, and then once you select the drop down, it will automatically go to the next, and then you can just enter the value, and then you will get your variable.
Please look into the source variable there.
Sorry?
Please look into the source variable.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, no, I just showing that example.
Yeah, maybe you can change it to the.
No, I didn't create that variable. I didn't create BMI at the end of treatment. I didn't create.
Okay,
I just created the BMI at the time of diagnosis and they show this example. So I'm just trying to tell the same option that they can use if they're creating the BMI at the end of diagnosis, I mean, end of treatment, they can use the same transform option to categorize the variable. Yeah.
Perfect. So
Is it? Yeah. Sorry, I took more time.
no worries, Prajitha. I mean, it's important to have this session detailed. Any doubts, anyone, in terms of summary statistics, transforming? Again, you can refer to the manual, which I have shared already, that has much more details. As it's more of an overview, we don't want to spend too much on everything what we have in the manual, but I would strongly suggest you go back and look into the manual and learn some of these things. Any doubts, anyone?
Just a few things. Yeah, we can just try all this. Just play around with the JAMOVI and try all the options, and then you will understand why you can't put in the certain way. Why we need to put in when you record it or transform it. So just play around with the data. And I hope you all have this data. Just try all these options. Then you will be you will understand why we need to do in the certain ways. Yeah. Thank you.